What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we are now on the final exam here in Gran Turismo. It is going to be the last one to get yourself this lovely F1 car, which if you're wondering, yes, you do win it, but you have to get gold on all of these in order to get it. Besides that, though, getting all bronze will get yourself a roulette ticket, so at least it is something, which funny thing is I did end up getting a car out of that one. For the final exam, though, guys, it's going to be fairly similar to the others, but there is a few things I did want to point out on this. So the first thing I have to say with the settings here is going to be regular on the manual transmission, which I would say is obvious. My TC on this one, though, I did end up having it on 1. Didn't really notice an overall speed loss difference there, so I would recommend trying it. You could probably even run something like 2. The reason for that is, well, the MP4/4 is going to be very squirrely in certain areas, so maybe having 1 or 2 TC on there isn't a terrible idea. My ABS is going to be on default, so nothing changed in that aspect. Besides that, my controller settings are also going to be the same. And as always, guys, I would recommend trying out and having the regular demonstration ghost. That way you can chase that one instead of using the display ghost that you would have as yourself. Besides that, though, the biggest thing I can recommend with the MP4 is probably going to sound a bit dumb, but hear me out, is to have patience with it. This car is going to handle very well, but not as good as something like a Super Formula F1 car, so you're probably going to have to be a tad more careful on the corners with it. I would say second to third gear was going to be incredibly great around them. I was seeing on forums that staying in maybe third gear is good, but around some of them guys going into second then going into third in the actual turn was also a pretty good idea with it. This thing is going to have a slower shift time on it, so keep that in mind. There's also going to be a very tight corner that you have to be in first gear on. At least I would recommend doing that. Second gear, you're probably not going to be able to get around it. But similar to most of the other tracks and also many of the other licensing tests, shifting in the middle of that turn will also make you a tad quicker. What I tried to do, though, was right when I did come out of that tight corner, I put it in a second and basically hammered it and went as fast as I possibly could. The last thing I did want to mention for this event, though, is the last turn. There is going to be a small S-turn, guys, right before the final one. And what you're going to want to do here, though, is I would say players are probably going to come out of that S-turn, accelerate, and go around the wide side of that turn into the finish line. One way I found to shave off maybe 0.1 of a second, and that can also be a lot more depending on how your overall run was before you get to this corner. What I would recommend doing, though, is going toward the inside of it, toward the wall. That can also be a lot quicker. And I was noticing this, I was like, wait, what if I went on the inside? I did that, and you're going to hit the finish line just a tad faster instead of going around the corner at a wider angle. I would recommend trying this one out, guys, if you are struggling. Besides all that, though, here is going to be the lovely gold run I got on the final exam in the insane MP4.